welcome to the podcast. Today, my special guest is Wendy K. I'm so excited to have you on, Wendy.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for the invite, Amy. It's just amazing. Seriously.
So, I met Wendy at the grocery store, actually, our local grocery store here in Morgan, Ridley. She was working at the grocery
That's right.
store. And I just fell in love with her right away. She's just adorable. She's just always been so kind and loving to me. And she's just the type of person you just want to be around all the time because you feel so good.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so great. Well, I think that of you too. You're very positive, and it's really fun that you're doing these podcasts because I know you work a lot with energy and bringing people up. And so that's like right down my line. And I'm so happy that you're doing this.
Thank you. So, Wendy, we're talking about her music today because she is a famous singer. Wendy K Music is the name of her music. That's her official site. She's award-winning singer, songwriter, recording artist, formerly Lantern Lane Music, show host with the Echoes of Sunday with radiotown.ca.
Right downtown. That's
Did I
right.
say that? Okay, awesome. Um,
And that's over now, but yes.
oh,
Yes.
gotcha. Okay. Wendy K has been gracing audiences all around the USA, Canada, and the UK with her heartfelt songs and rich, warm vocals. She has performed on stages, both live and televised, along with had her songs featured on radio. She has been compared to the likes of Olivia Newton-John, Faith Hill, and Carrie Underwood. News: Wendy K is currently finishing her long-awaited Christmas album at this Christmas time with some co-writes with her daughter, for which this album is named after. From a dream her daughter had when she was 9 years old about holding hands around the world at this Christmas time. Oh, that's so touching.
Yeah.
And some co-writes with award-winning songwriter Corey Lee Barker is sure to win the holiday heart for years to come. This album would not have been what it is without the incredible studio and musician talent of Dave Smith with Music City Tracks. Wow, you have done a lot of amazing things, Wendy.
Oh, thanks. Oh,
This is so
it is
exciting.
amazing. I mean, it's amazing you can survive as an artist, to be honest, because, there's so many setbacks and
Yeah.
so many things that, people, oh, what do you think? You can't be a singer-songwriter, get a real job,
Yeah.
which, you hear that a lot, but when you realize the power of music, it's just, there's nothing like it. It is the most healing thing ever,
Yes.
you know.
Okay, so Wendy, I love that you were talking about how it's so healing. So talk about how music can be so healing to our souls.
Oh, that's a good question. And I think anybody that listens to music, music moves you. It
Mhm.
can calm people. I mean, you can be in the most stressful situations and you just hear a song and it just soothes your soul. Or you can hear a song like when I'm cleaning house, it's not just nice pretty music. I have to have on the rock music.
Yes.
It has to be loud.
Yes.
But I also have seen it for myself in healing and I know they do it a lot with people that work, with holistic healing. There's a lot to music, there's a lot to sound, there's a lot to frequency,
Yeah.
which frequency so often is so overlooked. But, a lot of people have said, the music today on the radio is not as healing.
Mhm.
And the reason being is it's at a certain hertz that
Mm.
actually hurts.
Oh,
It actually
interesting.
can
Okay.
numb people, and that's ever
Okay.
been since like World War II. They used music to tone down the hertz and the frequency
Okay.
so that it kind of puts people in a state of numb.
Oh,
So
interesting.
music is so powerful. I mean, it can elevate or it can, put
Yeah.
people in a different setting in their head.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. I know when I'm listening to music, I pay attention to my feelings and things, and some is more soothing to others, and some that I don't
Yes.
really care for,
Right.
especially with words. So explain to me, like, and our audience how, um, do you say audience or does it matter?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I love
All right.
it.
Anyways, um, how what did I want to say? I drew a
Words.
blank.
Words can
Oh
affect.
yes, how
Yeah.
words can affect us, emotionally and mentally, and
They really can. I mean, the words that we hear, our subconscious takes in so much
Mhm,
that we don't even know. I remember as a teenager
mhm.
singing these songs and, thinking they're great songs, and then listening to them now and thinking, that is placing something in my head.
Right.
That is putting things that didn't need to be in my head there. And so
Right.
words really do have power. And when I write, I try to, I mean, I don't sit down and just write. I'll
Mhm.
be honest, I'll be driving from Morgan to somewhere, and on the
Mhm.
road, I'll get a tune in my head, or I'll get a thought in my head, and the words come, and I'm like, I gotta go home and memorize it. I gotta write it down.
I love
And
that.
so much of the words are inspired by
Mhm.
experiences that we go through. And sometimes as an artist, we feel things so much deeper than maybe a lot of people would feel. And that's why we're artists. That's why we can feel it, but we can absorb every kind of emotion, anything that's going on in the world, and we want to turn it into a song, something,
Yeah.
positive. But so I know for myself, words, I mean, the word was with God to begin with.
Yes, that's for sure.
And words are such power.
Mhm.
And so, you know, for all you kids out there listening to songs, listen to the words. Parents, listen to the words. And,
Yes.
it's important to feed our minds with just positives and uplifting and things that elevate the mind.
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I know. I used to do the same thing when I was younger, especially as a teenager. I just listened to I was more concerned about the music. If I liked the music, I
Yeah.
didn't care about what the words thought, right? But then, as I got older and more spiritual and closer to God, I recognized that those were really affecting me. And if I don't really want those words in my mind, why am I listening to that music?
Oh,
You know?
so true. And it's
So,
so easy, just turn it off, turn the dial, and
yes.
that's the wonderful thing about music. But nowadays, I don't know about you, but
Hmm.
I am flipping through my radio like left and right,
Yeah.
and there's nothing that just holds me there. And I think, oh,
Yeah.
this is trash. I love lots
Yes.
of music. I mean, I love country music. I love rock music. I mean, I'm a country music, performer. And
Yes.
I mean, I also I love Christian music. That's where I started out.
Oh, I
Hmm.
love that. I was wondering, so how you started out. I'm glad we're going into that question. So what inspired you to do music, and when did you start
Yeah.
really loving music and
Oh,
wanting to
wow.
be a singer?
Do you know, I think it was ever since I was little. In fact,
Uh-huh.
in the eighth grade, they make you write down your goals for the year or
Yeah.
the goals for life.
Uh-huh.
And I want to be one of the world's best singers and
Oh,
songwriters.
you did? Oh,
But I
that
didn't
is
dare
so
put that
cute.
because I thought I'm going to get made fun of. So I said, I
Yeah.
just want to own a lemonade stand.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cute.
but it did start younger. And,
That's
I think
funny.
my mom put me up on the table to sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm at like one of the family reunions.
Really?
And I was so embarrassed, but
Yeah.
not only was I embarrassed, but I was lifting up my dress because I was nervous.
Yeah.
Old MacDonald had a farm.
Right?
So I haven't turned in that kind of singer, just sing. I
Yeah.
don't dance on tables or sing on tables, but no,
That's
it
so
just
cute.
it just started young. And then I think when it really became real,
Mhm.
I was really touched as a teenager by Michael McLean, and I was listening to a song
Oh,
from
I
him,
love him.
You're Not Alone. And it helped me
Yeah.
so much because, a lot of times the kids that you think should believe the same,
Mhm.
I mean, I'll be honest, I got kind of bullied in high school,
Really?
growing
Yeah.
up. And so that song touched my heart. And I thought one day I want to write music that touch hearts.
Oh,
But and
yeah.
then I, went through a divorce and everything like that. And he
That's tough.
said, you're never going to go anywhere. Your music's never going to be anything. And at the time, it was kind of like, oh yeah, watch me.
Yeah, yeah.
But um, mostly now I just do it because I know it's the right thing to do. It's like my mission.
Yeah.
It is my calling. And there are songs, people have had me write songs for them that, it just helps heal.
Mhm.
And I remember just sitting on my piano one day and my first album is all about the ocean. It's called Just Hold On.
Okay.
And it's my inspirational album. And it was all about my family and all the things we had gone through with divorce and all
Yeah.
the many, many tyrannical things we had to suffer through. And I sat at
Right.
the piano and I just started writing and it just came. It's like, just hold on, just look up, never, never give up. Because, for the Father has you in his hands
Oh, that's
and he
beautiful.
knows every little single bird that sings, out there. And I had my children sing on it at the time as well. Maybe I could find it. Actually, I don't think I have it on this today, but
Yeah.
it's been, and I thought it was just for me,
Mhm.
but actually, it's helped a lot of people. So,
I love
what we
that.
do, our talents are not just for us.
That's true. That's true. Because I remember Lori Line.
Oh,
You know
okay.
Lori Line that
Oh,
plays the piano? She's a piano player.
I should know
Really
Lori
famous.
Lynn.
Oh, you're okay.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. She's a famous piano player. My husband introduced me
Oh,
to her music
oh, wow.
years ago when we were first married, so we went to one of her concerts. I think we've been to two of her concerts, but anyways, it's really
Oh,
pretty.
my
We have
goodness.
a few of her CDs.
Yeah.
But I remember I don't know where I heard this, but that she a girl that was really suffering like with some kind of an illness. I can't remember
Yeah.
if it was
Oh,
cancer or what, but some
oh,
kind of an illness. And she just said it was so healing just listening to her music. It just uplifted her and made her feel so happy instead of depressed and thinking about her
oh my
illness,
goodness.
right?
Yes.
So I think that is really healing, you
I
know?
it is. And it to change the in I mean, it's so amazing. And you can remember things
Yes.
with it. That's what I love too. If people are
Yes.
losing their mind, like we all are. No,
I
I'm
know the
just
older
kidding.
we get,
No,
right?
I mean sometimes we're like, oh, am I just losing it? Like where did
I
I put
know.
my where
I
did I put
know.
my cell phone? Oh, it's in my hand.
I know.
So
So
mhm.
okay, what year did you first make your first album then?
The first album was in 2003 or 2006.
Okay,
Yes.
2006. Okay.
And yeah, I think what motivated me at the time was, well, I was thinking of the ocean and I was thinking about all the healing things of the ocean. You have and I thought I want to make an album that, symbolizes Christ.
I
And
love
so that was
that.
2006. And during the time, one of my good friends, Gary Burston, you probably,
Yes. Oh, he's a good friend.
yes.
Were you guys in the same grade
I
or?
know
Okay.
he was older, but he was my hero.
Yeah.
And I just had the thought when their family was going through so much, I'm like,
Yeah.
I could do a benefit concert. I didn't even have anything. I'd never even done that. But,
Yeah.
I knew they needed to make a certain amount of money. And so you know, um, somehow I pulled that together as a single mom going through courts after courts with the ex. And I
Yeah.
was trying to get everybody together on this. And I mean, to make them what they wanted to make on the benefit was just kind of a
Yeah.
miracle because and we had a great turnout and it just made me realize you know,
Hmm.
they brought to me lots of great people like Corey Connors, and I don't know if
Yeah.
you know Corey, but
I
yeah,
don't. I
yeah,
know.
know,
So many
it's
famous people I don't know.
oh,
So yeah.
and she
But
she
this
did
is
a
so
lot of
cool.
things for the church, and she was
Okay.
yeah, and
Nice.
Greg, I
For the
can't,
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
yes,
Saints.
yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Yes, Church of
Great.
Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yeah,
Okay.
so she does a lot of things with that. But
Awesome.
yeah, so and that kind of got me on the path that
Hmm.
I want to do charity work with my
Yeah.
music and so I ended from there to the troops. So I went on tour with the troops, making patriotic songs for the 8 years. I toured with Tamerlan Smith. In fact, I'm going to sing a
Wow.
song today that Tamerlan Smith and I wrote. It's called "To Our Veterans," and I thought it was
Wait.
appropriate. We're coming up on all the summer holidays, and
Yeah.
our country and
Hmm.
soldiers and Memorial Day. So anyway, I hope that's okay to share that today.
Yes, I
Okay,
can't
great.
wait. I'm so excited to hear
Thank
your
you.
songs. So Wendy sent me a little over a year ago, not the past Christmas, the Christmas before, one of your Christmas songs. I can't remember which one it was, but it was so
Oh,
beautiful
was it
through
Shiny
Messenger.
Star?
It might have been, was it Oh Holy Night or
Oh, it
oh,
could
I
have
can't
been.
remember,
It
but
could
it
have been.
was
Oh, Holy Night.
gorgeous. I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
her voice is just
oh,
beautiful.
Amy, thank you so
So
much.
inspiring.
I love doing that album. That was really fun. By the way, it was with Toby Keith's guitar player. So, and
Wonderful.
that's with Music City Tracks. And he just really, his vocals to have
Uh-huh.
that kind of help on, down in Nashville. I recorded some here in
Yeah.
Utah and then
Okay.
I flew to Nashville and did the rest in his studio. So it was one of the, he,
That's amazing.
he goes on tour with Lee Greenwood.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I
I
know
mean,
Lee Greenwood.
yes,
Okay.
Lee
Oh yeah,
Greenwood.
because he
Yes.
does the
God
yes,
bless the
yes. I
USA.
love that
Yes.
song. We have that CD. That's one of
Oh,
my
I
favorite
do
songs.
too. I love
So
that.
beautiful.
So, he had a real, it just added such a good touch to that. But,
So how did that come about? How did you get, involved with these famous people?
I don't know.
I'm
That's a
just
good question.
curious.
I, that is a good question. I don't even know half the time, but
Yeah.
a lot of it was just putting myself out there and,
Yeah.
actually through like benefit concerts.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
it put us in a position to actually,
Uh-huh.
meet other people. It's like, well, we're in this town,
Uh-huh.
and so I reached out to a few of them
Okay.
and then other people got word that I, did patriotic music. And so they got
Okay.
me in touch. Hey, would you like to open for Colin Ray? Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
is so cool. How
Yeah, so
exciting.
that
Oh
was
my
really,
gosh.
really fun. And, and the same with Dan Truman from
Yeah.
Rio. I mean, it was just those connections. I mean, I still have a bucket list of ones that I'd love to work with. Vince Gill's on the bucket list.
Uh-huh. So
Amy Grant, I would,
Oh, Amy Grant, I love
yeah.
her. Oh my gosh, I went to her concert a few
Did you?
years ago.
Oh, I love her too. Yeah,
She's
they're
so
some of the
great.
greats. And what I
Mhm.
love the very most is I love authentic music. I love
Yes.
authentic singers. I mean, I feel like maybe I think music changed from 2000 to 2024
Yeah.
because everybody wanted to sound like everybody else.
Right.
And that's why I think I get bored of the radio because I'm like,
Yeah.
are they trying to be,
I
are they
know.
trying to be Taylor Swift? Are they trying to
Right.
be, Luke Bryant or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like,
Be yourself,
be
be
yourself.
unique. I love that
Exactly.
too.
Authentic.
That's so
Yeah.
wonderful.
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say about Amy Grant, my sisters introduced me to her when I was younger. They
oh,
really got, my
it
two
is so
sisters are
great.
older than me, and they started listening to her. I'm like, I love her. I love this music. And so I have one of her CDs. I love the collection. That's my
Oh,
favorite when
yes.
I was younger. And then she came a few years ago in concert. I'm like, I gotta go. I've always
Oh,
loved her music.
she's so
Yeah,
great. Yeah, I love her voice too. And
yeah,
it's a pure
mhm,
sounds.
yeah,
And that's what I love. I feel like,
yeah,
anybody that comes out and it dares to be unique in this kind of world we live
yeah.
in, we get kind of picked on, but you
Right,
just go, you shine your own star.
right, right.
And
That's so true.
we're not meant to be like, I mean, I'd like to, as much as I'd like to be like you, Amy, I'm not,
You're so
I don't think I
cute.
could if I tried,
You
You're
are
like a super,
adorable.
super achiever,
Oh, you're
And,
so cute.
but anyway,
So
it
cute.
is important to be
Yeah.
original because God made us all original,
He did,
you know?
yes. And no one can take our place.
No,
We all have our unique talents and he
so
wants us to be
true.
who we are.
Oh,
Right? I'm
he
glad you're
does.
talking about that because when I was younger, sometimes I still struggle with it too, but younger especially, I always compared myself to other people
Oh,
and I don't
comparison.
know,
We
you know
all
what I mean?
do.
Oh, if
Yes.
I'm them, if I'm like them, and I'm finally learning, the past few years, Amy, just be yourself and be grateful for the gifts and talents God
Oh,
gave you. And
and
so,
it is
yeah,
wonderful that you can. And
mhm,
even I'll have to just say, I love small towns.
yeah,
But sometimes in a small town, there is that social norm that, I'm sorry, I'm never going to be an island road runner.
right, right.
I mean, I'll cheer them on,
Yeah,
go, but, I mean, and I mean, this is just kind of funny. You
yeah.
can take this off the video, but let me just say, one time they had the Utah bump. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, what is
They
that?
had it was a big plastic thing you put on your head. It makes you have Frankenstein head. And it was like so popular in Utah. And
Uh,
it was like, everybody got one. I did not get one. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have enough problems.
so
But
cute.
anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so anyway,
He likes keeping all this stuff. He's like, I know in my
oh my
last one
gosh.
I didn't whatever. I said something I didn't want to say. He goes, no, we're keeping it. I'm like, okay. He goes, it's more fun to keep it all real. I'm like, okay, we'll just do it. We'll go with it.
Now your
Um,
son's got to go look into the Utah bump, huh? Your
that's so
producer.
cute. Okay, talking about
Yeah.
singing and comparing, I love singing, okay? And I've always loved
That's great.
I do, but and
Mhm.
I'm not trying to whatever
Yeah.
put myself down, but my voice just isn't one of those, amazing voices. And so that's just not my talent, but I love to sing. So anyways, I'm like, I'm good with like, if I'm in the church choir or, things like that, and other
Yeah.
people are singing. But so I do love to sing, but I love like I just look up to people like you who have a beautiful voice, and
Oh,
use it as
thank
their
you,
talent.
Amy.
'Cause
Oh, goodness.
yeah,
I'll tell you, growing up with six brothers, that didn't always feel like the case.
yeah.
My brothers would come home, they'd
Mhm.
plug their ears. Could you quit singing, Wendy? Okay.
Gosh.
My dad, could you turn that noise off? So
Oh my
I
gosh.
said, Dad, I says, one day I'm going to have an album out and it's going to be a best-selling album and I'm not going to give you guys anything from it. So
So
anyway,
and look at you, you've done that. You've gotten to
I
make the
had to
best
defy all
albums.
odds. I'm telling you, who needs humility when you have, family that puts you right in your place? But
I know,
honestly,
right?
that's
I know.
why I have a hard time being
Yeah.
anything but humble because even when I try to get up, I tell you, you get humbled really fast, right?
You're so cute. Oh my gosh. Talking about singing in the house, I go around and sing all the time here. At home, I love singing, and I know sometimes my family will
That's
like,
so
okay,
cheerful.
that's
I
too
love
much.
it.
Not right now, but
Yeah,
yeah.
not really.
Anyways,
It's true.
it's so funny. I know.
Families have but one day when they're at college, they'll be like thinking, I loved hearing my mom sing. I loved hearing her
Oh,
voice in the house.
that's cute. You're so
Cheerful.
sweet.
Yeah.
But and talking about
Yeah.
that too, like Tyson's my oldest, my producer, and
That's so cool.
ever since I was little, I just, well, yeah, little I like to sing, but when I start having kids too, I I like to make things up. Yeah, and be creative, you know?
That's
And so
so great.
I would take a song and I would, you know, sing a children's song to Tyson and my kids, but then I would like change the words. And I've always just loved doing that, you know, and so it's
That
just fun to be
that is
creative and
so fun.
yeah.
You probably have a song for everything like my mom.
I know, but
You're like, "Your shirt is so cute today," just
so cute.
I mean,
Sometimes I do start singing like that, don't I, Tyson? Absolutely. When I'm cooking,
I
I'll
love
start
it.
singing about the cooking or, you know,
Right. My
anyways.
potatoes will be done in just 1 hour. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Don't forget to run to the table. Or, I mean, my mom can make up voices.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh,
So she made up a lot of
she is very
words.
creative that way. Yeah, my mom and my dad would sing at the piano together, but my mom has a
Okay.
song for everything. And my
Okay.
kids know that too. They're like, Grandma, you have a song for everything. So it is cute. I actually got her, she's 81, my mom,
Okay.
and
It's 80. My mom just
it's,
turned
yeah,
80 a couple weeks ago. How
happy
fun.
birthday to your mom.
And to your mom
Yes,
too.
she and I are going to be singing in church in a few
Really?
weeks. She says, Wendy, I don't sing.
Oh,
I
sorry.
said, Mom, you do sing. Yes, so we're going to be singing a duet together
Oh,
in
that would be
church.
so beautiful.
So
Oh,
I love that thought because I just think, when voices sing
precious.
together,
Yeah.
it's just something that I'll have,
Yes. Yes.
someday. And when she's, hopefully, I mean, hopefully I can get her over her nerves. It is nerve wracking to sing a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
because you always want everything to go smoothly. But,
Right.
um, you know,
But we're not perfect, and we
no,
weren't
we're
made to be
not.
perfect on this earth, and it's
Exactly.
okay if we make our mistakes and
Yes.
embrace them, right?
Right. All of them. And if you don't embrace all of them, your family members remind you of the mistakes you made. Family
Yeah,
dinner parties. It's like, oh, by the way, do you know when? Remember when you did this?
that's fun.
Oh no, I love family. In fact, some of my early
Mhm.
idols, I guess, were the Osmond family.
Oh, I love the Osmonds.
I
Yeah.
did, and I just remember my mom. We could watch like 3 shows. One of them was Gilligan's Island. One of them was the Osmonds, and one of them I can't remember the other one. Brady Bunch. There you
Okay,
go.
yes, I
But
watched
I
those
used
too.
to watch Marie Osmond, thinking I want to be like her one day. Because I have all brothers. I have 6 brothers.
Okay.
Never got a sister.
Okay.
Yes,
There's 7 in your family? There's
there's.
7 in my
Oh,
family
is it
too.
really?
Where do you fall?
I'm in the second oldest.
Second oldest. I'm the third oldest.
Oh,
Okay.
really? So
Yep,
up,
that's
up
so
there on the
fun.
top,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, how
it is.
cute.
Big families are great,
They are. They're
I
wonderful.
mean, we're really close. We didn't end up, not everybody likes singing, but my brother Dave was very encouraging of me. He's like,
Oh, I love
Wendy, you
it.
got to take this opportunity. And,
Yeah.
in times when I was feeling like, well, I'm not that good, or,
Mhm.
my family's plugging their ears, then maybe other people are plugging their ears.
It's easy to do that, right? To intake other
Yes,
people's
it
thoughts and
really
think everybody's
it
thinking that, you
really
know?
is,
Yeah.
and it's not always the most popular thing in high school growing up to
Yeah.
be a singer-songwriter,
Yeah.
or to
Yeah.
sing in plays, or to have that kind of music. But
Yeah.
everybody loves it,
Yeah,
and
that's
everybody
true.
listens, and and you're never too old to keep living your dreams.
That's true.
In fact,
That's
there
true.
is such a stigma that everybody has to be a certain age and then you have to quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have
Mhm.
just been so inspired lately of like these little 100-year-old women, lifting weights. And I'm
Oh.
like, whoa, that is okay. You're never too old, never
Yes,
too
that
old to live, enjoy, and and do everything you're sent here to do.
yeah.
You know,
I love that you said that because I years ago when I was little, I played the piano for 3 years. I,
ooh, you
took
played longer
lessons.
than I did. I got slapped off the piano bench, and my piano teacher quit me
Oh,
because she's
goodness.
like, I didn't. Well, she's like, you keep making up little tunes at the end of the song. I says, I know, because I'm bored with Beethoven. I need a little doodad.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
creative. You want to do your own thing.
So she said, years later, she says, you're the only student I ever had that created her own songs. I said,
Oh, I love it. You're like, because I'm a
creative,
singer.
yes. So
Yes.
you played for 3 years. You played longer than I did.
You're
That's
so
great.
cute. But I had regretted it later on in life because I was like, I wish I would have gone longer. But you know how when you're younger, you're like, okay, because your parents are like, okay, you need to practice half an hour a day. And you're like, I'm so tired of practicing. I just want to play, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like I was one of those people that, which a lot of people probably are, but they just want to naturally just do it without having to do all this
Yeah.
practice. Anyway, so, but when my youngest child went back to school full time, first grade, I said, I'm taking piano lessons again.
Oh,
So I've been doing
good
it. I
for
think
you.
this is my 6th year. first, second, third,
Uh,
fourth, fifth. Yeah, because he's in sixth grade. This is my sixth year taking it back as an
oh,
adult,
so you're good
and I'm loving
now.
it.
That's so great. I'm looking at you piano over there. It looks all polished too. I'm like, she
Oh,
plays that thing.
you're so
That's
cute. Oh,
great.
I've got a
Oh,
wonderful piano teacher, so she's really good. But I was going to ask you, so did you play in the, did you do musicals in high
I
school
did.
and
Yeah,
sing
I did. I
musicals?
did some musicals in high school, and I
Okay.
was in choir. I think I was more of a
Hmm.
solo artist, kind
Yeah.
of,
Okay. Yeah.
from the get go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even I mean, I can sing in church choirs sometimes,
Yeah.
but I think it's just, yeah, I enjoy going the solo route.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
great, right?
it's pretty fun that way, and
Hmm.
plus, I just think, I don't know, I you can when you're taking a band. I was in a band a few years ago, and
Okay. I think I remember you telling me this.
yes,
Yes, I do
so
remember this. Yeah.
it's really hard to be
Yeah.
when
Did you tour?
well, we were,
How
I
did that work?
we were going to, but
Huh?
we just couldn't coordinate all the
Yeah.
everybody's wanted to be the main instrument, and that doesn't work
Oh,
in a band,
yeah, that's
So,
true. That's true. Yeah.
but anyway, that was it was
Yeah.
funny because I took on the band when my daughter had gone on an
Okay.
LDS mission, and
Okay.
I wrote her one day, "Hey, guess
Yeah.
what? I just joined a band," and then she's like, "What? Mom's in a band?
I know, right?
A rock band?"
Yes, so funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
That's right. What was your name of your band?
it was called The Truth.
Okay, The Truth. Okay,
The
yes.
truth is, it should have been called Dysfunction. It
You're
should have
so
been,
funny.
but we put the fun in it, and but I mean, I'd love to find a band again and find some,
Yeah.
people to jam with.
Okay.
Um, but more than that, I just
Mhm.
think it's fun to show other people's talents as well.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
feel like it's really fun
Yeah.
to do that. So maybe now that I have a house again, we're gonna
Yeah.
do like concerts in my backyard and
Oh,
concerts in my
that'd
house
be
and
so
cottage
nice.
concerts and
Yeah,
such. So I'll invite you. You can come play your
I
piano
would
and
love
I'll
to. I don't know how good I am at
yeah.
the piano, but
We'll
it's
bring all your
slowly
singing
getting there.
children because I'm sure your
Oh.
producer here probably has music. Are you a musician?
Um, I've dabbled with guitar every now and then. I
Good.
want to get into it some more.
Oh
Oh
man,
man,
guitar's the
guitar.
best.
Oh,
You
I
gotta
know.
do it. Okay, great. Get good on
Yeah.
the guitar. You can be my keyboardist. You'll be the guitarist. My husband's gonna try to
there you
get
go.
back on the guitar. Yeah,
We can do it.
we got the band all right
I
here.
know.
I
I'm
So
love
much, so
it.
much talent. So much talent right here in this room.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Tyson was in High School Musical, so
Oh,
in the choir,
fantastic.
so he sang a lot. He has a really good
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Um, what was I going to ask you? I had a thought. Okay, about your band again. So it was a rock band, The Truth?
It was a rock
Okay.
band.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we
Cool.
just did
So did you make up your own lyrics or
well, some the guys mostly did, but
yeah.
I mostly was just the singer, the
Yeah.
lead female singer. But
Okay.
no, we mostly did things like
Mhm.
Sweet Home Alabama, fun things like that. But
Okay.
I love music. I love live music. I wish I could play
Yeah.
guitar. I wish I could
Yeah.
do all those things. But I think more than anything, right now. You think that you're done writing music after a
Yeah.
while. Like sometimes you go through writer's block, which I'm kind of in right now
Okay.
because I've
Yeah.
been in my
Mhm.
I have three different businesses. So
Yeah.
I
Tell
go,
us about those other businesses briefly. That
so
would be
yeah,
great.
I just, I'm a life coach. I do holistic
Okay.
life coaching. So I do
Awesome.
use a lot of music, more like the Hertz healing music
Okay. I
in
love
with my
that.
clients. And then
Uh-huh.
I do flowers and then of course music. So,
You have so many
um,
talents.
oh,
So
I'm
wonderful.
trying to grow them because I
I
mean,
love
they're
that.
all seasonal. So anyway,
That's
but
great.
I
Oh,
think the biggest thing right now is sometimes we get pulled back. It's like,
yeah.
okay, just let other things, other music come about.
Yeah.
And then when the time's right again,
Yeah.
we'll write again. I'd love to make a whole a love song
Oh,
album. I think that would be great. But I think using what we have before we lose it, honestly, is
yeah.
because you get songs are hard to remember the lyrics
Yeah.
sometimes. I'll be
Uh-huh.
performing on the
Uh-huh.
stage or something, and the lyrics will just leave me. And I've written
Really?
that, and so I'm like, okay, I'm a songwriter. I can fill in.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll
Oh,
just talk,
good. You'll
you
just
know,
find a different
I'll
voice.
just
That's
talk in the
interesting
middle.
to know. I had
Yeah,
no idea. I mean,
and
yeah,
just
it's
talk.
great.
How are we all doing today?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're going. They should they think it's deliberate that I'm asking them
Yeah.
on my song how they're doing, but it's just because I totally forgot the words, you
That's
know.
so
So
cute. I love it.
anyway,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. That's good to know just because I have brain fogs all the time and I guess I just didn't think that,
yeah,
hey, other people do too. I mean, musicians,
right.
I mean, singers and stuff when
Oh
they're up there,
yes.
like,
Oh,
but yeah, that's so
it is.
awesome. Um, so have you been on tour? Uh,
So I did tour for 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So the tour was, yeah, it was just on and off,
Okay. Yeah.
but we'd do like veterans. I'd sing to
Uh-huh.
veterans homes and to
Okay.
VAs and hospitals and our troops coming
Oh,
home.
I love
That was
that.
my favorite.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a lot of my patriotism stems into my music, goes into my music because my dad is from East Germany, and
Oh,
so
okay.
he and his family escaped from East Germany,
Did they
and
really?
he always had this dream that one day he'd have freedom again.
Oh,
And so they've instilled in me, like ever since I was just young, just the value of freedom
yeah.
and patriotism. And like the first poem I ever wrote was first grade, and it says, "America is a special joy for every little girl and boy. I love its flag." That's what I remember. "I love its flag so very fair. I love its places everywhere."
That's cute. I love it. And you still have it memorized. It's so fun.
I know you do
Oh,
remember things like that, but yeah. So
yeah.
I've actually, I don't know, how much time we have or anything, but I actually have
Song?
I actually have one that I co-wrote this one with uh, Tamerlyn Smith. It's called
Okay.
"To Our Veterans."
Okay.
She got the words. The music just came to me one day when I sit on the piano,
Uh-huh.
and then I went in the studio and recorded it. But I didn't know if you wanted,
Yes, that would be
Can
great.
I get a drink of water
Oh,
real quick?
yes,
Okay.
of course. Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
Okay. Now,
I have a question. So is country your favorite music since you sing country mainly, or I'm just curious, or
um, you know, honestly, I didn't even like country music
you
until
don't
like
like,
no,
or
until like
you,
10 years
oh,
ago.
you
I
did
mean,
until
I
10
didn't
years ago.
well,
Gotcha.
I liked it,
Yeah.
but a lot of it, oh, sorry, was kind of twangy. Hang on just a
No, you're
second.
good.
Sorry, I'm gonna just this is supposed to stay put. Okay.
You're good.
But no, I really love not just Christian music.
Yeah.
I really love, I mean, I've listened to a lot of Christian music and they kind of all sound the same to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I really love worship music.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
I
Give me an
guess,
example of a band that you really like that
um,
worship music.
well, I'd have to say, okay, they're a Christian band, but I mean,
Mhm.
Cutlass. I love
Okay.
Cutlass. And
Uh-huh.
one of my favorite songs that they do is "That's What Faith Can Do."
Okay. I'm
Uh,
not sure if I've heard of them. Sometimes I hear, worship music, but I
yeah.
can't remember what band it is or I'm not sure
Oh,
what. Yeah.
I'm that way with, I
Yeah.
have to, I'll be singing a song and my kids were like, I'm like, "Oh, this is so and so." "No, that's not. That's,
Yeah.
somebody else." But, and Michael W. Smith, I think
Oh, I love him.
he has a lot of great songs out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't most Christian bands like deliberately try to make it so like any band
me?
is able to play it like in their service? I hear that's like a common practice in their
Oh, is
song.
it really? I didn't know that.
Because
That,
yeah, like
yeah.
some churches they do have like band
That's
sessions
right.
in
That's
their
right. Yeah.
yeah. I think they try to make it so like anybody can play them.
That's interesting. That's probably true, and that's probably why a lot of them do sound, similar. Or, I mean, and there's a
Yeah.
definite sound to that.
Right.
I honestly, when I was working for, well, I'm not doing that anymore. The radiodowntown.ca.
Okay.
This was a cool story. That one was really cool. But
Okay.
so I was um, called to be the Sunday to they asked me if I would do a Sunday show,
Okay.
and it's Canada's largest
Really?
internet radio station.
Wow.
And he said, "Hey, we like your music. We've been thinking maybe you could do your own like a worship show on Sunday." And I, just kind of generic. So I
Yeah.
called it the Echoes of Sunday.
Okay.
And so music I played on there then was like, a lot of things we hear here in Utah. I love Kenneth Cope's music.
Mhm.
He's so
I do too.
heartfelt. Oh, I
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
he's amazing. And you just feel something different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I introduced that. Michael W. Hicks, I introduced on there. I got to meet artists from all over the world, and they'd submit their songs, and I would mix my music in with it. And so it was such a great opportunity because I was at a point where I just felt like, I won awards and things like that.
Yeah.
I also, like the Paramount studio award. I won that. And then, being a nominee for the Jussie Music Awards I didn't win at the Jussie Music Awards, but I felt like it was a win when you're in the top 8,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely.
And so, but it was such a great opportunity because I was, uh, I had some interesting things. I was told to share my talents. This was at church, right? And like I just kept getting put out and put off.
Oh, I got you.
And we don't have time for that. Oh, we just want something to get it over with. And I was so sad one day. I was in the store thinking maybe I should just give up on music,
Yeah.
And I just there's a song, I don't even know who sings it. Your son might know. You got the music in me. Don't give up. You got the music in you.
It's familiar.
Yeah. And so I'm listening to that.
Humanicals?
Yes, I
Okay,
think
that does.
so. That's right. It's a
Okay.
great song. I mean, and I think some versions aren't, and maybe have a swear word on that, but the one that I heard in the store that day was just inspired me. So I'm shopping, crying, thinking, okay, I don't know where I'm going to go with my music. I mean, I'm trying to do my calling. I'm trying to do everything I can here, and I keep getting, shut down. Like they don't understand it. And I had a whole, fireside put together, and it was like only a week after that Radio Downtown Canada contacted me, and they said one of your friends submitted music, and we want you to be on our show.
Yeah.
And so I got on the Christmas show, and they did a whole hour interview, and then he's like, the producers and I decided we want you to be the host. And so I just thought my music influence is not just with borderlines here in small town
Yeah.
or small state. It's to be heard worldwide. And so it went out to 182 countries.
Wow.
And,
That's amazing.
so it was really, I just thought, okay, God knows. God
He
knows
does.
that what he wants, us to influence.
Right.
And I mean, I quit last year when we were building our house because after
Yeah.
it just got intense,
Yeah.
it really was, and with doing podcasts, it's like to edit, it
Yes.
took so much, but it was a great honor. And that was probably one of my highlights so far. So,
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, do you want to go ahead and sing your song?
Sure. Okay.
Excited.
And this is to all of our veterans. I just want to say thank you from my heart, and to all of those that stand up for freedom, and also to all of those that have lost their lives for me.
Yeah.
Because, my dad was saved, his family in East Germany because of the American soldiers. So I'm love the American soldiers. I'm so grateful. This is to our veterans. So I hope let's see if I can, let's see if this is right. Oops. Okay, here we go. This is one written by myself and Tamerlyn Smith. So just going to say that. Okay. Not I have tears in my eyes. Okay.
Sounds so
You came from every town across the USA, from football captain to head of PTA, to stand for our country when she was in need, fighting in our wars to keep our nation free. You didn't ask questions, doing what you had to do in that war zone, trying to make it through. From every walk of life, our veterans came to be. Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Marine. You stood against our enemies who wished to see us fall. Against great odds, you fought brave and tall. We owe to you our freedoms for the price you paid. To all our veterans, we honor you this day. Thank you all for standing that way. In the line of duty, You watched your comrades fall. Now their memory is written on a wall. After seeing wars, your lives forever changed. Those who were injured, your lives forever rearranged. We shall not forget the dangers that you faced to keep our nation in her state of grace. To all our veterans who serve so selflessly, from a grateful nation who still stands proud and free. You stood against our enemies who wish to see us fall. Against great odds, you fought brave and tall. We owe to you our freedom for the price you paid. To all our veterans, we honor you this day. Hey, thank you all for standing. Thank you all for standing. Thank you all for standing that way. God bless our troops and God bless our veterans. And thank you so much. Thank you, Amy.
That was so moving. I love that song. It was beautiful. The words, the music, it was really touching to my heart. I really felt touched by it. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
I'm so glad to have you on today. This is wonderful.
Oh, I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the fun things you're doing. I think you're just one of those people that you're just sunshine, and it's so appreciated, and it's so needed now,
Thank you.
So I appreciate you doing this and putting this together and let me sing. I've never really done singing on a podcast before. So maybe my own podcast, but not live like that.
Yeah,
So
it's wonderful.
anyway, thank you.
So how can people find you and connect with you if they like to?
Yeah, so probably the best way right now is through Facebook. So just Wendy, and then I have K Music is my last name. That's not really my last name, but it's Wendy Knudsen, but K Music. And I also have an Instagram under Wendy K, little asterisk music. And I also have a Wix site, Wendy K Music, but I don't even know how to find myself there. So I mean, that might be a good, but you can contact me directly. I have, a bunch of music and albums out, do digital downloads and, a
great.
lot of music for sales. So yeah.
Well, do you have an email you want them to contact or not? It's okay.
You know what? My emails, I've got so many emails. I think I'd rather just have you contact me through, Facebook and that way I can get you in the right place.
Awesome.
Send you some music, and especially you'll want to hear the Christmas album. I love that album. That one was my favorite.
Wonderful.
So anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Living Healthy with Amy Turner. If you enjoyed watching, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about future episodes. If you would like to learn more, you can comment below and be sure to follow and message me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks a lot for watching and have a fabulous day.